Okay, here we go. Okay, so I made slides for this so that you guys will have access to those after kind of like the comp plan call that I did. I'll put the slides link in the bottom of the YouTube when I upload this so that you guys have access to it so you can go back through later and kind of get the gist of the call. We are going to get very specific on how to visualize. It's something I've noticed when I talk to not even new coaches, but some veteran coaches, like they don't really have a vision for their life. Like they kind of think of it as a dream, so they don't spend much time visualizing, which is no bueno. So visualizing, you guys, is actually a key part of success. I want you to think of anybody successful that everybody knows about, like Oprah, right? Or I think of, any successful person who's made an impact. And they didn't get there by chance, you guys. They didn't think, oh, one day I would like to impact some people, and if I get there, that'd be great. They thought about it and they visualized it for a long time before it ever happened, okay? So it's the whole Disneyland analogy. Getting in the car, you cannot get to Disneyland without having like stepping stones and knowing where you're going before you get there. So visualizing is kind of what bridges the gap. And it's what helps you put the pieces together to get to the life that you want. Okay, so we're going to get very clear on how to visualize your dream life, and how visualizing works, and how that aligns with the business. Because I've also found that people separate the two. There's Beachbody, and then there's our dream life. Hopefully, you guys have realized that to get to your dream life, Beachbody can be the platform for that. That means they should be meshed together, okay? So I am going to start this really quickly. I'm going to screen share. If I can find it. Okay, here it is. Okay, can all of you guys see my screen? Yes? Okay. So this is how your dream life and your vision and the business align. First, we're going to start off with some quotes that I love that talk about visualization. And this, oh, you guys, something I hear a lot from new coaches is their fear of what others think of them, you guys. And I didn't realize how much that was holding me back in life in general, in social situations, in financial situations, in like daily interaction situations, because I was so scared of what people thought of me. And then I realized, you guys, I'm worried about their opinion. That is like probably 1% of my entire life of interacting with them, because I'm not with them all the time. And I'm with myself all the time. And I was really hindering my own happiness because of this fear, right? So this quote says, don't let people who are living their nightmare tell you that you can't live your dream.
I just wanted to call you.
That is something I have seen a lot, is we worry about all these naysayers. Like, dude, if they're naysayers, they are not the people you want to be around, and they most likely are living a nightmare. And so, of course, they don't want you to live your dream because they don't think it's possible for them, so they want to hinder you in a way, okay? You've got to be able to get away from those type of people. Okay, this next one, it says, the key to effective visualization is to create the most detailed, clear, and vivid picture to focus on as possible. The more vivid the visualization, the more likely and quickly you are to begin attracting the things that help you achieve what you want to get done. If this is, okay, we're going to be talking some Jen Sincero today, because she just nails a lot on the head, okay? So there's going to be some money talk, because as you're visualizing your dream life, I want you guys to pay attention to your surroundings and to what's happening in your dream life when you dream of it. Chances are everything comes down to money. And I know some people are probably like cringing right now, but I don't love money. I don't need money. But you guys, everything in life costs money. Us sitting here on Zoom right now is costing us money. The clothes I'm wearing cost me money. The house with the light and the electricity on right now costs me money. So everything in life costs money. And it depends on the value we put on that money. So Jen Sincero talks a lot about how money is an object and we're the ones who place the value on it. It's no different than the saying about spoons. Like, spoons are what make people overweight. No, it's not. It's the person and
who uses the spoon, right? It's the person who holds the object that gives it value. So she talks a lot about money. She talks a lot about visualization and putting it out into the universe. And so one of my favorite quotes from her, we're going to end this call with one too, but she says, if you're here to become the grandest, most generous version of yourself, which you are, and if that costs money, which it does, it is your duty as a hallowed child of Mother Nature to get rich. Okay? So we have to disassociate money with evil, money as being icky. It's not, because you look at anybody who's made an impact and they have money, you guys. So once again, it's the person who holds the object that gives it value. So if you're a good person, imagine all the good you can do. So if you're wanting to be a generous person, to be able to serve others, if you're wanting to live a life to its fullest, you have to have money. That's just reality. That's just how our world works, since we don't trade goods anymore for survival. We trade money, okay? So I want you thinking about that before we get into visualizing. You need to be very aware of how you feel about money, okay? Because I've noticed people, when I tell them to dream big, they still limit themselves based on money. I don't need money. I'm comfortable. We don't need a lot of things. Maybe you don't, but there are people out there who need your help. And if you don't have that money, you can't help them. Okay. So if you're at a point where you're comfortable and you think you don't need more money, what about the people out there who could use your help? Okay. What about the people who aren't as blessed? What about the people, who you could be touching their lives in very, very big ways, if you didn't have this icky feeling toward money, okay? So you need to let go of every attachment you have to money when we visualize, because when you truly do that, that's when you actually can dream your biggest life, okay? When I first started, I think this was a big part of why I believed in the business so much, was I immediately had a vision for our lives. I had a different vision than what we were living, and I knew that we needed money to change where we were. We needed money to be able to survive. We weren't surviving. We needed money to be able to get on our own and not have to rely on family members to support our living. We needed money to be able to go on dates and have alone time as a couple. We needed money to buy a house and not have to rent someday. We needed money. And for me, I knew that this opportunity provided like a limitless salary, if you will. I got to choose how much I could make in this business. And I looked at Micah and I was like, hey, if it's possible for her, it's possible for me. And so I let go of any barriers, and I thought, what would our dream life look like? And we became very clear on what we would love to do in our lives. And that was to spend as much time together as a family as possible, which meant retiring my husband, which P.S. he wasn't open to at the time. We'll talk about that too. And the other thing was we wanted to travel. We homeschool, and I wanted my kids to be able to see the world through their own eyes, not just through textbook. Okay. I was like, we live in this beautiful world and all we do is see it in pictures. That's stupid. Like, I want to see it in person. I want to experience it. I want to smell it. I want to feel it. And all of that awesome stuff. So I was able to kind of like visualize way down in the future what I wanted our life to look like. And it wasn't just those big moments of traveling or retiring the hubby. It was like I visualized our day. Like, what would my day-to-day life look like? And it's still very clear in my mind, and it's still something I visualize often, but I could see our house. I could feel what our house felt like. There was lots of sunshine. It was very bright, lots of windows. We had land and the kids were playing outside. I could hear them happily playing. I was busy doing our morning routine with the business, which is part of this too. And doing the morning business. My husband was home. And it was very non-stressed in that we were happy. And we were just doing the day-to-day things. But that was something that was not where we were. It was very stressful. We aren't in our dream house. I wasn't happy at the time. So when we're visualizing, you guys, we're not talking about the big moments. We're not talking about just like the huge, awesome, momentous, amazing things to celebrate. We're talking about your day-to-day life. You need to be visualizing your day-to-day life, okay? And ours looked very different. And so keep that in mind. Like, this needs to be very, very, very detailed. Okay, before we move on, I wanted to read about some benefits of visualization really quick. And let me pull that up. Okay, it says visualization fosters purpose. So visualization develops belief in self and creates a fulfilling life. When we lose hope, we lose so much. Hope is a catalyst for change. A life longing for something is worth the effort. Discover what you long for and visualize it every chance you get. You won't be sorry. Actually, you'll be amazed at how that personalized longing will propel you in directions you didn't think were possible. Visualization can make that happen, but first you've got to believe. If you're on board with the benefits, we'll talk about how, okay? Other thing is visualization gathers energy. Visualization fulfills the law of attraction, which facilitates dream building. Energy goes where attention flows. Want something badly enough? Then go ahead and dwell on it in healthy, optimistic ways. The more you visualize yourself living the life you want, the sooner your universal energies will align with that to give you what you want. But don't forget that being proactive is required and support your visualization practice. Visualization combats negativity. Visualization brings moments of positivity in a world full of negative energy. So often people respond to dreams with statements like, how will you do that? Or that's going to be so hard to accomplish. And yeah, sure, it will be hard, but you're totally up for the challenge. During a visualization session, you get to live out your dreams despite what others say. It's an effective way to battle that negative voice inside your own head too. Okay. Okay, now that we're thinking about that, we're going to get into some questions to ask yourself. If you're like, sweet, now I still have no idea how I need to visualize my dream life, okay? Questions to ask yourself. What do you want to be remembered for 100 years from now? Okay, this slide is probably my most favorite because it made me realize when I was first starting that I was living a very isolated life and all that mattered was me and my family. I wasn't impacting others. I wasn't going to be remembered for anything. I wasn't going to be able to serve other people living the life we were living. And I didn't really like that, okay? I wanted to be able to make a positive impact. And there's some things we believe religiously. And in that religion, we have certain blessings. And I had a blessing that talked a lot about my impact on others. And you guys, I was not living that. And so for me, I always longed for more. I wanted to make an impact on others around me. And I wanted to be a positive force in this world that can be very negative and drowning. So this is a huge slide because it's talking about how you will impact others. Okay. So your vision for your life can literally change the life of others. So what do you want to be remembered for 100 years from now? What do you want people to say about you? What contribution can you make to society that you would be proud of? And what do you want to make sure people never say about you? Okay, here's what I've noticed with people who get very concerned about others' opinions. My husband and I were actually talking about it the other day. How many of you look at like what got us talking about it was the song by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper? How many of you guys knew Bradley Cooper could sing? Like, I didn't know he could sing. But then again, there's a lot of actors that can sing because they start their acting journey in high school doing musicals, right? How many people are super, super popular and so cool who do theater in high school? A lot of times they're made fun of, right? And people tease them and they mock them and they're very negative toward them. Then they go on and make a name for themselves and they become famous, and all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, I know them. I went to high school with them. I totally know them. Like they want to claim their fame. But in high school, they made fun of them, right? So something you have to realize about success at the beginning, you probably will be mocked and you'll probably be told you'll never be successful. It's never going to happen. And then as soon as you make a name for yourself, people change their tune and they start telling other people about you. So you have to realize that there will be people who will say things about you, but a lot of times their tune will change depending on the impact you have on others. So when you start something, they will be skeptical, but as you continue with it, they will then be like, man, she is so inspiring because she never quits. She is so inspiring because she's completely changed her life. She is so inspiring because I've seen her help others. Okay, so what do you want people to say about you? What do you want to be remembered for? Okay, What are you willing to do for no money? What is something that brings you joy that you would do all day long and not even get paid for it? For me, that's coaching. I always say, like, dude, if I even quit, which is like never going to happen because that's like the dumbest thing ever, but I would still do everything I do with coaching, right? I love the community it's given me where I didn't have all these awesome, amazing friends. I love the life it's given me, the lifestyle it's given me, the personal development that we totally preach. Like I would do this for no money. Absolutely. But what are other things maybe you would do for no money? Okay. That's also for me, that's also running some nonprofit organizations, some visions that came about after I started coaching. And my vision just continues to get bigger. And that's something you need to realize too. You can totally have your vision continue to grow as you grow. Okay. What would you like to do for a lot of money? Coaching. So make sure that you guys are paying attention to, like I said, is coaching a part of your vision? And for me, this was the answer because this is the lifestyle I'm going to live. But we can do it for no money or we can do it for a lot of money. If money had nothing to do with your life, what would you do with your time? How would you spend your time? What amount of money would give you the security you believe you need? What amount of money do you need to have to achieve financial freedom? What amount of money would you need to make a difference? Okay. And now I want to read another quote by Jen Sincero because it is so good. And this, you guys have to understand that money and your why and success are all interconnected. She says, in order to become rich, you must connect to your desire for money with the passion of a goat who wants in off the porch. If you listen to her book, You're Best at Making Money, she talks about how the goats like really wanted into her house and they broke in one day. Okay, that's what she's talking about there. So she says, and the key to do this is by getting clear on the specifics of your why. Why do you desire this money? What will you spend it on? How will it feel to make it, spend it, and bask in the manifestation of your ever so important why? Just wanting to get rich isn't going to cut it. There has to be meaning behind the money, or else the second it gets hard or expensive or someone tells you you're high, if you're thinking you can get rich by selling your homemade ice cream, you'll slink back to your goat pen of complacency instead of doing whatever it takes. Decide you're unavailable to live your one and only life, treating your dreams like they're not as important as your fears. Demand of yourself that you figure it out and you make it happen. Okay. I seriously love her. She speaks to my soul. It's so good. So as you're asking these money questions, you have to remember that there has to be a why behind it. Okay. Your why is your vision, you guys. Your why is your vision. That is why you're doing this business. That is why you get up early. That is why you sacrifice your sleep. That is why you sacrifice your alone time and your Netflix time to build this business, is because this is the platform that will take you to your why, to your vision, to that dream life you're envisioning, okay? And as you do that, you guys, the awesome thing with visualization, you're living it every day. And we're going to talk about how you actually live it. But when you're visualizing it, you get a glimpse of how it's going to feel when you actually have that. So when it actually happens, you've already been living it. And it's so awesome because it's not just this end moment that I was talking about. There's a lot of little moments along the way that are just so fulfilling. Just this last week, we were traveling. We went to Texas just for fun. And, we were talking about how we were on vacation. I tracked my time to see how well I was doing with being unplugged. And I was only on social media for 16 hours all of last week, which I'm dang proud of, you guys. And I still was able to sign up coaches and challengers in that short amount of time. But I was also fully enjoying the freedom we had as a family. And for us, that was a big part of our vision, right? Was my husband being home. And so we're on this trip and we're thinking about how we never would have done this when he had a job because he would have to take off more time. Next month, in a few weeks, we're going to Disneyland. We wouldn't be able to do both. And it's given us the opportunity to do things we want because of our vision. Okay. And so things we've always dreamed of. And so there were multiple moments on this Texas trip that were not a part of my vision clear in the future that still hasn't fully come to fruition. But there were so many moments that I was like, how is this my life? Like, this is amazing. This is everything I had ever dreamed of. So you'll have those snippets along the way as you're building your dream life to your vision. You'll get those moments and you live them already when you're visualizing that big end picture, but then you also live them as you're moving toward that vision. And that's an amazing thing. Okay. Some next questions. What makes you feel good? What gives you energy? What activities bore you? What things are you doing that you later regret? Can I just touch on that for a second? When it comes to the business, I see a lot of people who go all in and go all out and go all in and go all out. They don't put themselves first. They really struggle a lot of it is with vision because their inconsistency is proof that their vision is not vivid and clear enough that they work for it every single day. And then they slink back into old habits, or they stop doing the vitals, or some people will go all in with the business and forget that their journey is the foundation of the business. And they're like, I'm not focusing on the right things. I'm only focusing on the business and not on my journey. I'm like, that's backwards. Your journey is your business. Okay. And I see people who kind of get out of balance. And those are the things that you're going to regret, you guys, the inconsistency, the not having a clear vision, and making sure that you're putting your journey first is how you build on that vision. What bad habits do you need to stop? Okay. For me, for a long time, that was just randomly scrolling social media. Okay. That's a bad habit that I had learned I need to stop. And I catch myself now like, this is stupid. So that's a bad habit. Or staying up too late and not getting up when your alarm goes off, or putting off my workout. That's a big one for me. I notice that it's harder if I put it off. That's a habit I need to stop. And I like doing it first thing in the morning because of how I feel. What good habits do you need to start? So that kind of goes against the bad habits. So what do you need to start to replace that? What do you need to do more of to make yourself feel better about yourself? Okay, and do you see how these are going to align with your dream life? Because when I sit and I envision my dream day, I'm also thinking about, I'm also thinking about my body. Like, I'm thinking about how I feel. Am I healthy? Do I have energy? And all of these things that have to do with what we do as coaches, you guys, have to do with my dream life. Even if I wasn't coaching, this lifestyle would be a part of my dream life. I don't think anybody dreams of a perfect world and a perfect life where they're unhealthy and diseased and sick, right? I think we all dream of being healthy and feeling good in our bodies, which is why I love this freaking business and why these two morph together, okay? So now I want you to sit and think for a second, and we're seriously gonna sit and think for a second. If you could have a magic wand and be living whatever life you want, right now it was waved, what would your day look like? I want you to visualize your day just kind of quickly, because you guys are going to do this after, and it's not going to be super quick. It's like meditation. You're going to sit and you're going to feel it, and you're going to see it, and you're going to just like bask in this dream day. Okay. What would it look like? Danae, I'll answer your question at the end. Okay, so Brandy, be paying attention to right now these questions that are coming up that we're asking, because it's not about the day-to-day. You're thinking about dream life, perfect world, all of the stress, because when you say you're lost in day-to-day survival, that implies that you're stressed and you're not living your vision. You're not living a dream life. So you need to get clear on what your dream life would look like if you weren't drowning in day-to-day survival, okay? So what would your dream day look like? Like, actually look like? What environment are you in? What kind of house are you in? What kind of neighborhood are you in? What kind of car do you drive? What does your bedroom look like? Like, get very clear on what your day would look like. What does your day smell like? Okay, we're gonna like literally use all of our senses. Okay, when I dream of going on the beach, I don't just sit and like picture an ocean. Like, I hear the sounds and I feel the sun and I feel the sand and I smell the ocean. That is why everybody dreams of a beach, because we're actually visualizing it. Okay, now do that with your day. What does your day look like, smell like? What does your house smell like? What does your day feel like? Are you stressed? Yeah, go ahead, Ash.
So I just want to interject really fast as we're going, because I don't want to get too far and then bring it up. Yeah. When Jalen and I always talked about visualization, I don't know about you guys, Jalen's story is like one of the most inspiring things in the universe. And hearing like where she came from, how hard life was, how much it sucked, and what it has become, what it is turned into is just like, they're going to make a movie of her someday. Like, it's just amazing. And I just remember talking to her and being like, but I don't hate my life. Like, I like my life and I like my house and I like my car and I like my life. Like, what if I don't hate my life? And something clicked at that stupid retreat that it occurred to me, like, it's not about, for me and my brain, because I'm very like technical, I need things like very black and white in front of me, that it's not about like you hate your life, make the great life. Picture your favorite, start with something super basic, your favorite day of the week. What's your favorite day of the week? What if every single day could be like that day? And for me, that was, oh my gosh, I love Sundays so much because I'm not always on my phone and we're not running 10,000 places, and Jake is home and we get to be together as a family and we're like in our home and I can see it and I can imagine like the peace and the harmony that we feel because we're together. And like, that is what I clung to at the start when I didn't know how to visualize. So if you don't hate your life, or if you are struggling with like seeing super huge big picture, because Jalen is just a boss of visualizing, start with that's not a word, you know what I mean. What one day of the week, what is your favorite day of the week right now, and why is that your favorite day of the week? And then visualize like how that feels, have that being your everyday. I don't know, that, because I just struggled for the longest time with big picture. So I don't know, maybe that was.
Yes, that was a huge thing that we talked about with Ashley. Like, we did these visualizing calls and she's like, my dream house is my house. I'm like, bull freaking crap. No, it's not. It's a nice house, but that is not like, if you had no money restraints, no time restraints, no nothing restraints, you're telling me you would seriously, in all of the universe, drive to this neighborhood and say, that is my house? No, you wouldn't. And I think that's the majority of us. Like, she was saying she liked her life. I liked my life until it exploded right before coaching. But like, same thing. Like, I liked my life, but I didn't dream of it being any bigger. I didn't dream of it improving in any way until coaching and until right before it blew up. And then I was like, hey, things have got to change. So as you're visualizing this perfect day that she's talking about, pick that favorite day of the week. That's perfect. How does it feel? What does it smell like? What does it look like? Why is it amazing? Okay. Why is it amazing? No limits, you guys. Like, you literally have to take off the barriers with money. Like, where would you live? What would your husband do for work? And this is where I've noticed too, a lot of people are like, well, my husband doesn't want to retire like yours. You guys, my vision is not your vision. Your husband doesn't need to retire. If he doesn't want to retire, he doesn't need to retire. But would he be doing the job he's doing? Or would he maybe choose a different career that maybe didn't pay as much, but it's his dream career? Or would he start a business that he's been scared to do because he is the sole income provider? Like, what would your guys' life look like? I'm actually going to answer Danae's question right here. This is the other biggest disconnect people have with coaching and vision, is they try to align it with what their husband would think is a good life. Okay, here's the thing. If you're on a growth journey and your husband's not, your visions are going to be very different.
And you're probably like, well, crap, what do I do? You go for your vision. You go for your vision. I'm not asking about your husband's. I'm not asking your husband to like, you come together and you visualize that perfect day together. What would your perfect day look like? And guess what? As I improved, as our life improved, my husband's ideas and his visions for his life changed. Okay, that doesn't mean like you're going to get divorced and separate and go two separate ways. A lot of times they'll end up morphing together. Okay, so you visualize your perfect day. My perfect day was my husband was retired. He didn't even want to retire until he almost died. And he's like, okay, I'm good. Let's retire. Okay, so for, what was that? Almost 3 years, he had no desire to retire anytime soon. Here's what got him on board. Well, getting hurt, obviously. Next was the fact that I started making an income where he was like, what am I doing? Well, I would not be doing this for pennies. Like, this is kind of stupid because now it is pennies. When I first started, his job was our sole income provider. Okay, so his vision was perfect. He loved it. He loved his job, still loved the job. But it changes when you change. Okay, so if you start making a lot of money and it frees up his stress, because a lot of men need that security and they want to feel like they're providing. That is normal. What would he do though if that stress was taken off of him and he didn't have to be the sole income provider? Okay, so you find your dream life, your dream day, and you work toward that, and I promise you, they will come along. They will see things differently, but right now, they're not doing this. This is not a part of their life, okay? But yeah, you guys, it can totally change it. And yeah, JD's not retired, but guess what JD was able to do? Pick the job he wanted rather than the one that paid the most. JD was able to even quit that job and now open up his own company. So you have to realize that your vision can impact theirs, but they may not see it right now. And that's okay. So we're not doing them. We're doing us. What would my dream life look like? Okay. Yes, and you can totally have a fabulous life without retiring. What would make you the happiest and the least stressed is another way to put it too. Like, what would you do? Okay. Okay, now you need to be specific, okay? This is how you get your vision to come to fruition is we're not just like generally picturing like a relaxing moment. I want you to be specific on your day. What would your routine look like? What does your body feel like? What does your body look like? How is your energy? How is your mood? Who is around you? What does your house look like? What does it sound like? What do you do for fun? Where do you travel? What kind of car do you drive? Where do you shop? Where do you spend most of your time? Who do you serve? What do your finances look like? How much money is in the bank? Do you have debt? How is your relationship with your spouse? What are your strengths? Okay, are you seeing this gets very, very, very clear? This isn't like I hope one day I am fit and healthy and feel good, or I hope one day we're out of debt. This is my dream life, and this is what it feels like. We have $1 million in the bank. We have retirement plans. We have no debt. We're traveling monthly around the world with our kids. We have land where the kids can run and play, and we have a beautiful house with lots of windows and natural light, and we have structure and routine to our day where we get up and we do our workout. See how that's a part of my daily vision? This job is a part of that vision, you guys. I do my workout, I do my connecting and my social stuff and my power hour, and then I get off and we do our homeschool for the day. And my day-to-day is what I'm visualizing more than anything, you guys. The monotonous, not the traveling, not the retiring, which that's a big part of it, but it was like what I want my life to feel like. And it was very clear I was in my healthiest shape, okay? My body felt good. I could put on clothes and feel good, right? Not like, I'm popping out of these pants, I gotta change. Like, get very specific. You're going to the grocery store. What does your car look like? What does your car smell like? What grocery store do you shop at? What kind of food do you buy? Do you buy all organic if you want to? Do you shop at Walmart? Do you pay for the people's groceries in front of you? Like, get so specific on what would make you just so freaking happy and lit up, okay? Okay, looking at this, hold on. Did you do Miracle Morning? You were asking the wrong person if I ever did Miracle Morning. I've never done a Miracle Morning. I am not a morning person. That's like the joke, and it like held me back.
so much until same retreat Ashley was talking about. I brought it up to Josh. Like I had in my head that for me to be really successful, I had to get up early. That was not our life, you guys. My husband worked swing shift, which meant I worked my business the majority at nighttime because our schedule was just different. We still thrive on this swing shift schedule. So no, I don't do Miracle Morning, but I get that crap done. It's just not Miracle Morning, if that makes sense. So you have to find what works for you and make sure you're doing that crap. Am I doing all the Miracle Morning stuff? Yes, just not in the morning and all of that stuff. So you can't put barriers on yourself too. That's the other thing I want to emphasize. You can have whatever life you want, doing it however you want. Just because so-and-so did it and she did it in the morning, which P.S. I do recommend for most normal people who have a normal life schedule. Morning is the easiest time to sacrifice your time and get crap done for the business. You just have to find what works for you. Okay. So if that is morning because you're on a normal schedule, your husband's on a normal schedule and your family time is in the evening, then I would highly suggest doing this in the morning. Okay. Next, let's go on to, okay, now we're going to talk about how you actually visualize. And there's 10 steps, you guys. So you're probably like, wait, I thought we already visualized. This is just going to get more specific to help you guys really understand how to visualize, okay? So 1, visualize the activity, event, or result desired. Close your eyes and picture a goal that you have in mind. Let's say you want to envision that you want to be a 5-star elite, okay? Imagine that you're getting the elite call. Ashley could tell you a whole story on this, okay? Imagine wearing the elite jacket. Imagine going to the parties and dressing up with your spouse. Imagine walking the stage, okay? And I think a lot of people don't even dream business-wise. They just think, oh, it'd be nice to make an income. No, you got to get very specific with your business goals too. You guys, this is a part of your life. Once again, these business trips that we do, I was like, dude, these are my quarterly dates with my husband. We're going to go overnight. And so I totally envisioned dressing up with my husband because we never got to go to dances. We didn't know each other in high school. I would love that. So visualizing getting dressed up and fancy and going to these parties with just my husband and having overnight trips and wearing the elite jacket and being proud of that and walking the stage and seeing everybody out in the crowd, okay? So don't skip the details. Once you've covered the big stuff, get smaller. Where will you be when you get the elite call? What will your body look like and feel like? What will you be wearing? How will it feel? What will you wear to the parties and to walk the stage? What will it look like to stand on the stage and see the people in the crowd? What will it mean to be elite for your business and for personal life? Okay, so there's so many visions, you guys, and I just hope that you can see that they go back to the business. So when I talk about my dream day, how we're providing that dream day is the business, you guys. So that's why the structure of the day and do my workout and connecting and doing the power hour and stuff, that was a part of my vision because I saw the freedom in that and we could go anywhere and do anything but still work and have that dream life. So this isn't you just set small goals. You have your dream life and then we'll break it down and we'll talk about that. So when you're visualizing, the whole point of this little slide is just being very, very, very detailed, okay? So you can feel it, see it, smell it, imagine what it's going to be like. The second step is to visualize with optimistic, positive thoughts. Nothing is going to improve when you feel lousy about yourself and your chances in life. So instead of thinking, I'm terrible at basketball, there's no way I'll improve, think something, I'm great. I'm not great now, but I'll be much better in 6 months. Visualize yourself sinking some 3-point shots or dunking the competition. Okay? What you believe becomes reality. Visualization is sort of like hypnosis. If you don't think it'll work, it won't. Okay? This is something I think is blocking most people too, is they don't realize that they're subconsciously going, yeah, right. Yeah, right. My dream day, yeah, right. Yeah, right. You just said it, right? And it's what, if you guys watch the Brad Bizjack call, any personal development that talks about the law of attraction and stuff, he talked specifically on that call about how what you focus on is what you will notice. So if you're this isn't going to work, your brain's going to look for ways to say this won't work. If you're this is going to work, this is amazing, this is my dream life, this is what I'm going to work towards, your brain will start looking for ways to support that, okay? So what you believe about visualization is what will happen. So if you think it's a bunch of crap, it's a bunch of crap. If you think it works, it will work. Okay. Thinking positively is the first step to making sure that visualization is actually effective. It's the first step to making these desires a part of your real life. Remember that life is just as much about the journey you take to reach your goals as it is about the destination you have in mind. Visualization can make the process of reaching your goal more enjoyable by keeping you focused and motivated, making it a positive addition to your life. Okay, step 3. Where did 3 go? Oh, I just didn't change the number. Wait, crap. Did I do the same one twice? Hold on. Let me find it on my phone. Okay, hold on. Okay, 3 is move your visualization into the real world. After you have spent a moment or a few days visualizing your goal, make changes in your life to bring that goal about. Right before you perform an activity, task, or event that will achieve an outcome or an outcome toward your goal, focus clearly on the picture of the action you're about to make, even if it's something intangible like make more money. And it's applicable to the everyday. It can be used before going to work or each business possibility. Okay, this is the example, and then we're going to talk for a second about the business. For example, if you're trying to hit a baseball, picture hitting it clearly in your mind, stroke by stroke, at the right height and the right speed. Watch the ball being hit by your bat, flying through the air and landing wherever it is meant to land. Visualize the experience with all of your senses. Hear the ball approaching, hear and feel the impact, and smell the grass. Okay, this is the business, the daily activities. Of course, this is like the slide I don't get in here. I'll fix that when I post the recording. This is the daily activities, you guys. This is the crap that's going to get you to your vision. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit too, is like the long-term versus short-term. You have to have both goals, okay? You have to be short-sighted on what has to happen now to get me to the far side of what is going to get me to my dream life. And then is the business every single day. If you go into your conversations and your invites saying this isn't going to work, they're going to think this is too expensive. I can't do this. No one ever buys from me. They're just not going to buy from me. That's exactly what's going to happen. So before you do your power hour, I want you to visualize the perfect conversation. How will it go? What is your confidence like? What are you going to say to them? And I promise you that changes the way you interact with them. Magukas. Shh. Okay, so that's the third one. The fourth one is think about a chain of events needed to achieve your goal. Big changes in your life take time and focus and comprise of number of small steps. If you're visualizing attaining a specific goal or endpoint, imagine how you would get there. Okay, so especially the business, you guys. So what I love is the business is the platform. Like Mike always says, her family is her why, the business is the how. Okay, so the business is what is going to drive your dream life, you guys. It's that is, like, to be very blunt, that is how you will get to your dream life. And so you have to have business goals to make that happen. So for instance, I was talking to a coach earlier, and she's killing it. She's so excited because she's hit Success Club earlier in the month than she's ever hit before. And we were chatting. I said, okay, so when is your diamond goal? And she said, I'm scared to make that date. And I said, well, wait, why? And she's like afraid she's going to fail. I said, okay, wait, let's talk about dreams then. Let's talk about like your goals for your life, right? And so we were breaking down goals, and there were some goals she wanted to hit by April and later on in the year. And that would not happen if she didn't advance her business in the ranks, you guys. Like, you have to be actually realistic and, okay, these are the steps I need to take. This is a breakdown of the business and how I can get there. So if you're like, hey, I want to make $10,000 by April, but I'm an emerald, you ain't going to make $10,000 by April as an emerald unless you're retailing like, I don't know, like an insane person, okay? So you have to understand that the business, you're going to have small goals that take you to your vision, right? Which means you have business goals, which means you need to get very clear on, do you believe you'll be a 15-star? Do you believe you'll be in the Million Club? Do you believe that you're going to lead a team of boss babes who are doing the same thing? Okay, you can't just be like, oh, I'll see where the business goes, and it's going to provide my dream life someday. Like, no, you've got to get so clear in the business of where you're going that it takes you to that dream life, okay? So your business goals are the day-to-day things that are going to help you achieve that dream life. So you need to get very clear on where you're going this year. And we'll talk about that in a minute too, but I just want you guys to understand that. So the example of this is act the part. So if you want to be the president, imagine aspects of your political career, running your campaign, attending fundraisers, meeting political bigwigs, and delivering your first speech. How would the version of yourself that you're visualizing handle these situations? Okay? You don't get to be president. You don't get to be Oprah without all these baby steps first. It's the same in the business and the same for your life, okay? Next, visualize the personality traits needed to get you where you want to be. It's not enough to want to be the vice president of the company you work for. You need to think about the qualities that will assist you in getting there, okay? This is, for me, discipline, right? I'm like, okay, I need to be more disciplined. When I first started, it was consistency, okay? So you need to understand what personality traits are required to get me to my dream day, and you need to have those now. So who do you need to be? Visualize not only the vice president, but also the skills of open communication, persuasiveness, sharing, listening, discussing, deflecting criticism with skill and respect. Imagine yourself acting the way that you're visualizing. So if you realize that a vice president needs to have confidence in their work performance, visualize yourself acting with confidence around the office. Okay? Did I duplicate again? Oh my gosh. No, hold on. I didn't. Okay. Use affirmative phrases to motivate yourself. Pictures are great, but words work well too. Okay. If you see a healthier, fitter you lounging around in the branch manager office at your job, say to yourself, I have the body I dream of. I'm getting healthier and it feels great. If you want to get better at baseball, tell yourself something like, I see the ball. I hit it with such force that it's knocked out of the park. Guess what these are? Affirmations. Okay. Affirmations are a way to reroute your brain to actually achieve your desired results. So affirmation and visualization go hand in hand. It's all law of attraction type stuff, okay? You can repeat this kind of phrase to yourself as many times as you need. Just make sure you believe it. So whatever it is that you're struggling with, or whatever it is you want to achieve, not so much necessarily just struggling, but what you want to achieve, you need to be speaking to yourself like that now, so that you believe it. It actually creates new neural pathways, you guys, when you're speaking to yourself this way and you're doing affirmations. 7, imagine yourself overcoming setbacks. Obstacles are a normal part of life, and no one reaches success without first encountering failure. Know that you will make mistakes, but remember that you can overcome them. How you bounce back after a setback is more important than the fact that you made a mistake in the first place. Remember to ask yourself. Ask yourself daily, what can I do to make myself better tomorrow? Okay, you guys, this is the next biggest thing I see new coaches doing. They get so discouraged by things not happening how they expect them to happen, and they quit. Like, dude, it's normal to fail. Did you guys see my post the other day of when I was a brand new coach? Like, hi, I did everything wrong. And you guys, I just didn't quit. And I improved, and I made a decision to continue to learn and to grow and to be dedicated to that, and that I would be here for at least 5 years to see if it was worth my time. Okay, I'm still not to the 5-year mark. I ain't going anywhere. But my whole point with that is you're going to have setbacks. You're going to have failures. You're going to have days where you want to chuck your freaking phone through the window. Totally normal. It's getting back up again. And it's realizing this is normal, and that's how you learn, okay? So it is normal to have setbacks. It's normal for it to take a while in life, in the business, to get to your dream. It's going to take time, and you will have setbacks, okay? It's kind of like the scale. Have you guys noticed the scale, like, will drop, and then it goes up, and then it drops, and then it goes up, and then and everybody somehow thinks that weight loss should just be like a continuous downward slope. It's not. That's the same with business. That's the same with getting toward your dream life. It will go up and down. You will have those setbacks. You will have moments where you're like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, this isn't working. It is part of the process, okay? So you have to prepare yourself for that and realize that it's you continuing to not quit is what makes you overcome those setbacks. The only way you can fail is to quit, okay? So if you're like, well, I don't want to fail, then no quit. So when I hear people that are like, oh, I had a friend who did this and it didn't work. Okay, so is she still doing it? Well, no. Well, duh, it didn't work. She quit. Like, nothing's going to work if you quit. So you have to have that same tenacity with your vision and the business. Okay. Like, you will never get there by quitting. So that is not even an option. Don't even play with that in your brain. 8, think in the affirmative about your goals. When it comes to visualization or just positive thinking, you need to think affirmatively about what you want to achieve. Zeroing in on not being poor isn't exactly helpful. So instead of not wanting something or not being something or not having something, focus on what you do want, what you are, or what you have. For example, consider statements like, I want financial security, or I have the guts to move across the country. Not, I don't want to be poor, because guess what your brain does? Focuses on all the ways you're poor. Instead of, I want financial security, your brain will then focus on the ways you have financial security. Do you guys see how like positive versus negative thinking is a huge difference? Okay. So think actively and in the present tense too. If you're visualizing yourself not smoking anymore, don't recite the mantra, I will try to quit. Okay. Think along the lines of, cigarettes are disgusting. I don't want them. They do nothing for me. Okay. 9, focus on long-term goals. So do you see, this is what I was going to talk about. I think, did I skip one? Oh yeah, think now. So that was like thinking in the present. Those are the short-term goals you're trying to achieve now. Think positively, but you also have to think long-term, okay? So focus on long-term goals. Anybody who wants to change overnight will be disappointed. Instead, plan to make realization of your hopes and dreams long-term. Visualize where you'll be in 5 and 10 and 15 years and the sorts of outcomes you want. How will your situation be different and how will you be different? Allow yourself to imagine what life will be like. So, for example, it's helpful to visualize going to bed early or taking a jog at night, but visualizing can also help you achieve more substantial goals. For example, visualize what kind of parent you want to be and the legacy you'll leave your children and the kind of person you'll be when they're growing up. Visualize what you want to achieve as a human being and what legacies you will leave your friends and community, okay? So if you've ever done an exercise with Josh Coates, he does this where he talks about like, what is your big 10-year, like what will your life look at in 10 years if you have no barriers, no restrictions, and you get this awesome dream life, right? And then he'll say, okay, now what do you have to do now to make the long term happen? And there's usually 2 types of people. You're either the dreamers and you don't do anything now to get to the dream, or you're the I don't dream at all because I'm a realist and I have my daily activities. You have to have both, okay? You have to dream and you have to have short-term daily goals that get you to your dream, okay? So that's where it's important to have the long-term vision first and break it down and say, okay, what is the amount of need? Go back to the questions of the first. What is the amount of money needed to have this dream? What is going to need to happen, you know, business-wise or family-wise or relationship-wise for this to happen? And what needs to happen daily for that to happen? Okay, if you imagine an amazing marriage, okay, well, what does that look like? That means that we like being around each other. We spend time together. We go on overnight trips together. Okay, well, to do that, if your relationship sucks right now, what do you need to do today to get to that long-term goal? That means I need to be kind. I need to be patient. I need to serve him. I need to give him compliments. I need to plan a weekly date or whatever it is. Okay, do you see how like you're not going to have whatever you want down there if you don't do the daily stuff? So you can't also just do the daily stuff without having a direction where you go. So they're kind of like the opposite thing. So that's like getting in the car. Long-term thinking dreamers are the ones that are like, I want to go to Disneyland, getting in the car and not having a map of how to get there. Short-term thinkers are, I'm getting in the car and I'm driving, but I have no freaking clue where I'm going. Okay, so you have to have both. Okay, 10. Create a vision board to remind you of the life you want. This will help you visualize your goals on a regular basis. To make a vision board, post a collection of photos or words that represent your future goals. That way you can look at them every day to stay motivated as you pursue the life you want. So if you guys haven't watched, I have a vision board video talking about that. Be very specific. Don't just choose random pictures. I mean, get very, very detailed. Put the color and the make and the model of the car you want. Put a picture of a house that you want. Put pictures of whatever it is, like I have Beachbody stuff on there. Like it needs to be so close to reality that your brain is like, it takes you right back to that visualizing moment where you can feel it, okay? Okay. Now,
this is where some people are probably like, I can't do this. You guys, give visualization some time to feel normal and produce results. At the very beginning, this visualization thing may feel pretty frou-frou, if you will, okay? It'll feel weird and it'll feel foreign and you have to push past that. It does go away. At the beginning, it's natural to feel uncomfortable being consumed by this dream world, but it's just a phase. If it doesn't feel a little funny, you're probably doing it right, or probably not doing it right. Okay, this is only remedied by practicing, that's all. There's no other key than time. As with anything, there's a learning curve. It'll seem steep if you don't commit. Let yourself go and it'll go away. If you're the only obstacle, you're to your visualization success over time, okay? Visualization can activate your brain in the same way that actually doing the activity, your brain may not even be able to tell the difference. For example, if you're afraid to sing in front of a crowd, you can imagine yourself, I apparently cut this one off, awesome. This tricks your brain into thinking that you've done it, okay? So it'll get easier to get up and sing in front of others the next time you have this opportunity. So you just have to visualize, even though it feels funny, and you guys, you have to allow yourself to dream, but then you have to put that dream to work. That's the difference between dreaming and visualizing. Okay, so how the biz aligns with all of this. Take a look at your goals. Is the life you're living now providing this life you envision? I can guarantee you the answer is no. All of you guys just didn't picture today as your dream life, okay? And maybe, like Ashley said, there's lots of things you do like. You don't have to hate your life to want to improve it, okay? But is the life you're living now your actual, true, legit dream life, okay? Can you reach this life on the path that you're on? Doing what you're doing now, will you get to your vision? Chances are, the rank you are today, the income you're making today in the business is not what is required to get to your dream life, okay? This is not to say, you guys, that you can't enjoy the journey along the way. We are not to our dream life yet. I still am working toward that, but I absolutely freaking love my life. I do. We are making, that is so loud. Hold on. We are, obviously making an income more than we ever thought possible, but we're still not to where we would want to be to impact others and to be able to really make a difference in life. So that's not to say that along the way to your vision that you're not going to be satisfied. I think that's the opposite. I think part of being successful and visualizing a dream life is being grateful along the way, working toward your dream life, okay? Did your dream life include a healthy lifestyle? I sure freaking hope so, you guys, because that is our business. That is how this morphs with your vision. If your dream life included a healthy lifestyle, you found the right platform to make your dream life happen, okay? You need to understand how incredibly unique and incredible this opportunity is. If you don't think it's incredible and you don't think it's crazy awesome, you're not going to be successful in this business, okay? You have got to really hone in onto why you love this opportunity. And for me, it really is, my husband always says, it's the secret that no one knows about, because we literally can work anywhere, however we want, how long we want, when we want. I don't have to ask my boss for time off. We just got back from Texas and drove to my mom's, and we still have another 3 hours to go to our house. There's lots of snow, so we decided to spend the night. We don't have to even rush home today if we didn't want to, because how amazing this opportunity is and the freedom that it provides, okay? So you have to understand how amazing this opportunity is and how it can be a platform for your dream life for you to be able to morph the two. And until this job becomes a part of your daily life, you're going to struggle, okay? I feel like some people post their business stuff, they do their business stuff, and then they have their life. For me, it's normal for me to talk about the business and my challenge groups and my lifestyle, because this is how we live. This is what we do. Even without this business, we'd be working out, we'd be eating healthy. So it's not weird and it's not business, it's my life. Coaching is our life. It's a part of our life. Okay, now you need to break it down into yearly goals that align with your big goals. So that's where you need to be very clear. Okay, how much money is it going to require to pay off that debt, to buy that house, to be able to start a foundation or an organization, to be able to serve others? And then you need to say, okay, that's down the road. What can I do this year?
what would make a significant difference this year? So for us, we have an income goal, but we also have a paying off debt goal. So we know specifically exactly how much we want to make to pay off that debt. And we've broken that not just down into yearly goals, we have quarterly goals. We have monthly goals. Okay, so you need to take that big goal and you need to divide it by, okay, what can I do this year that will get me closer to that? To our dream house, to our dream life, that is paying off debt first and foremost. Okay, so how much income would I like to be able to apply to that debt? I need to make this at least the entire year, and I'm going to break that into quarterly. I need to pay this every month to be able to reach my quarterly goal, to be able to reach my yearly goal. Does that make sense? And then next year when I get to it, I'm like, sweet, debt is now gone. Now what is our goal for this year? So each year you're actually taking steps. It's like picturing your vision at the very top of a hill. You have to like take those daily steps, those monthly steps, those yearly steps to even get there. You can't just sit and look at it and be like, well, crap, that's a long ways away. Well, duh. Like, you've got to take the steps every single day, every single month, every single quarter, every single year that are going to get you to that vision. And I swear it goes by so fast, you guys, and you're going to look back and be like, whoa, that was crazy. And it's freaking awesome. So understanding the compensation plan is going to help you a ton. Like when I was talking about earlier, if you have a goal, let's say to make or pay off $10,000 this year, or let's say $10,000 by June. Okay, well, how does that align with ranks in the business? Understanding the compensation plan, what bonuses do you qualify for at each rank? Can you get there by being an emerald or a coach? If the answer is no, you just found out what your rank goals need to be, okay? So you need to understand the comp plan so you're realistic about, I want to make this amount of money to be working toward my dream life. Okay, but how do you do that with where you are? Do you need to rank advance? Do you need to qualify for quarterly bonuses? What is it? And that will help you break down your business goals that are also going to help you move to your vision, toward your vision. This is what I've noticed. People do business goals without thinking about their vision. And so that's why they get burned out and they get tired. You only burn out, you guys, when you forget your why. When you forget why you're doing this and it becomes just about the business. This business is simply a platform to change your life and get you to your dream life. Okay, make the business a part of your normal life. Like I was talking about, like, you guys, this is what we do. Being healthy is what we do. That's normal. So don't separate it in your head like, this is the business, this is my life. Like, the business is a part of your life. Eating is a part of your life. Working out is a part of your life, and it's something you will do forever. Okay, and decide to have this a part of your life forever. Okay, so you guys, you have two options really in life. You can continue to live the life you have now and not even think or dream or visualize, or you can make the daily changes now to get to the life you dream of. Okay, those are your two choices. Like, get very crystal clear and make daily changes to get to your dream life, or just kind of go, meh, we'll see, and then you end up in the same place. Okay? Okay, now I'm going to go through the questions real quick. Yes, the slides, I got to fix that one slide, but I'm going to put these in the link. The link to these slides will be available in the bottom of the YouTube video that I'll make of this call, so that you guys can just quickly scan through it and not have to watch the whole thing. I'm going back through, hold on. Do you visualize your goals each day or just focus on one? Okay, expound on that. What do you mean?
Okay, so if I have a business goal, if I have a goal to quit my job, if I have a goal to take my family to Hawaii, like, how many things am I visualizing at one time? Because I could be doing that all day long.
Gotcha, right? So here's the thing. I would honestly say don't limit yourself from visualizing. It's like, they call it daydreaming with a purpose, because it actually is going to, the more you think about it, the more clear you are about it, the more likely it is to happen. So I think about my dream life all the time. Like, it randomly comes and it like invigorates you to do those daily things. But you need to know, okay, I want to retire from my job. So you imagine that daily, at least daily. What is it going to feel like? What is your day going to look like? What is it going to sound like, smell like, all that stuff. But then what do you need to do today? Okay. Yeah. And you do those daily things. So You can visualize, what does my dream day look like right now for getting my work done, being proactive? How do I feel? How's my energy? When do I do that? But I don't think there's like a limit on that. Okay. So like the more you think about the big picture, the more likely you're going to do those daily tasks that get you to the big picture. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Dream life meditation followed by repeating your 10 affirmations and listen to it when going to sleep and when waking up. That's genius. More than one vision board. So I do a yearly vision board, but I have like our goals, long-term goals written down, but it can't hurt. I mean, really, you can make a vision board for anything. So whatever helps your brain, really. Danae, do it. How do you get over the fear that you don't have the time to sit down and do all this? It feels like it will take days. Like you have to prioritize now because you're wasting time. So this should be priority today to figure out where you're going in life so you know what you should be doing every day. That's kind of like the overwhelm of the word overwhelm. You're thinking about all the things you need to do and not actually doing them. And when you actually do them, you'll find that it didn't take as long as you thought, and you thought more about not doing it than the time it took to actually do it. Right? So when you're overwhelmed, a lot of times it's no action is being applied and you're just thinking. So it needs to be priority or else you won't have a direction. You're just going to be willy-nilly in life and then you're not getting any closer to your vision. You reassess, Alyssa. What do you do when you do not, wow, I can't read. What do you do to not get completely discouraged if you don't meet short-term goals you set for yourself? I think that's where some fears come from on setting business goals, because I don't want to be super discouraged if I don't meet something specific. Okay, first, that's your belief. So it's kind of like when we talked about, like, you have to think about your goals and your visions in the positive. If you're so focused on, I'm afraid that I'm not going to be successful, guess what you just did? You just totally blocked yourself from being successful. Okay, so you have to think of all the ways. You have to ask good questions. So that Brad Bizjack call was so good. Instead of saying, no one comes to me, I'm not building the business, how come I'm not successful yet? You have to ask different questions. How can I reach more people? How can I help more people? How can I be more productive with my time to reach my goals? It takes away, when you have questions like, how come I'm not successful or stuff like that, you're essentially a victim and you've given your power away. So whenever you feel yourself stuck, you've got to ask questions that give the control back to yourself. Okay, how can I do this to reach this? But you know what, you guys? We all don't reach goals that we set. That's the point of goals. That is the point of goals, is they should be so huge that you're pushing for them and they stretch you and they scare you and they make you do crap. But we all miss goals, you guys. It's not letting that missing the goal deadline stop your momentum. You just reassess. Okay, I didn't make it by this date. When is the next date I'm pushing for? Okay. Yes, and Debbie said, make a list and check it off, you guys. When you have those overwhelming mind going on, it's because you don't have it in front of you to check off. So do a brain dump, write down everything you need to do and check it off. And seriously, I promise you it takes way less time than you thought it was going to take. Always does. Like, I just did it this weekend. I was on vacation and I had a bunch of people who filled out like a form for the Transform 20. And I was like, I don't want to look at that. It's going to take forever. It took me 10 minutes to reply to them. Like, I don't know why I sat and thought about it for 2 days. I should have just 10 minutes, just do it. So exactly. Yeah. And you guys have to understand that perseverance and grit, I think, is a huge part of confidence and belief. If you get yourself discouraged over not hitting small things, that's a lot of negative self-talk, and you've got to be able to catch yourself and realize, once again, what you focus on comes to fruition. So the slide earlier that talked about positive thinking with your visions, you can't focus on the negative and expect a positive to come. You can't focus on, I'm so bad, I didn't hit a goal, or I am so poor, I'll never be successful, because once again, your brain focuses on whatever you're thinking about. So you have to switch the thinking to the positive of, I want financial security. How can I have financial security? And your brain will start finding ways to provide financial security. How am I successful? I'm consistent. I am diligent. I am whatever. I am resilient. So that when you have those thoughts come that, well, you sucked, you didn't hit that goal, you say, okay, but how am I working toward my goal? How can I be successful? And you switch that thinking. It's all it is being self-aware of negative and positive thinking, you guys. You've got to switch it to positive instead of negative. Anytime you're negative, you're a victim and you've given your control away. Okay? Okay, did that help? I feel like sometimes I don't know how to explain what I really want to emphasize, but you guys, like, really sit for the day and don't include your spouse if he's not willing to dream big, like he's not invited to this party, okay? Like, this is your party. And I want you to seriously dream, and maybe you can dream with him and it will be like a smaller version of your big dream. And you're like, perfect, we're on the right path. We're just not, mine's just a lot bigger and cooler than yours. But I want you to seriously think, if my life could look like anything, what would it look like? And I want you to realize that you guys have the capability and the power to live whatever life you want. Those people you see that have the life you want, they didn't get there by chance. They didn't get there by, I hope someday I'll be successful. They decided, this is what I want, and I'm not going to quit, and I'm going to make it happen. And these are the daily goals that I'm going to hit to get to that dream life I want. Okay, everybody who has made an impact, they thought of it first. They didn't just end up impactful and successful and inspiring. Okay? So you want to be Oprah, go freaking be Oprah. Okay? Like, you guys, you can do whatever you want in life. You just have to decide you're going to do it. Yeah? Peace? Any other last minute questions? Okay. I think we're good. Okay, I'll try and get this uploaded to YouTube before we head home. So it probably won't be available for a little bit, but today, hopefully by the end of the night, we'll have it available.